Emily stands in the hallway with her hands to her chest. She breathes slowly in and out, as if she is on the verge of tears. When she notices me behind her, she turns away and wipes her eyes with the back of her hand. I'm sorry for storming off like that. I was just very frustrated at Rod. I said something I shouldn't have said back there. If anyone finds out about this, they won't. Your secret is safe with me. Emily flashes me a grateful smile before looking at the sky. One moment Rod is running down the hallway, the next he has stopped in front of us and is trying to catch his breath. I'm sorry. I'm sorry too, Rod, but right now I would like to be alone. Of course. I'm sorry, Z, but could you leave me for now? She does not even wait for my answer before walking away, leaving me alone with Rod. You made her cry, Rod. Fully aware of that. Why are you hiding your curse from your family? You wouldn't understand. You're doing this to protect them. Protect them? Rod silently shakes his head. They wouldn't understand. Those are the last ominous words Rod speaks before rushing off, leaving me alone in the hall. What happened to him? The hallways are silent at this time of night, as most everyone in the palace prepares for bed. I am now on my way to our meeting place, but Rod told me earlier to wait for him here. I thought that he would make me go to Martian by myself. But after what transpired with Emmeline, I was wrong. Emmeline was so upset today. I have never seen her like this before. I turned my thoughts back to the Martian and to what Wall said earlier. I wonder what Parfait wants to talk with us about. I feel my heart beating erratically against my chest. Why do I feel like something bad is going to happen? I realize that I have been standing in the hall bin for a while. Perhaps I should move. People might find me standing here suspicious. I start walking again, and I'm surprised when I feel a hand close around my wrist, pull me into the darkness. I open my mouth, but a hand muffles my scream. Shh! Rod? Rod's gaze is icy. He speaks quietly, but I can feel the anger simmering underneath his words. What if somebody saw you just standing there? Have you ever thought about how they might get suspicious? His tone is so accusatory that for a moment I cannot find my voice. But then he is right. I should have been more careful. Sorry. Rod stares at me surprised. What? I never thought I'd hear you apologize, especially to me. Oh, well, at least I know how to apologize, unlike you. And why would I ever have to have a reason to apologize to you? Because you've done nothing but treat me coldly, even when I have done nothing to personally attack you. Rod scowls at me, but does not say anything. Instead, he sighs and takes my hand, pulling me after him. What? Let's go before the guards see us. I have no energy to argue with Rod, so I allow him to pull me along. I'm sorry. What? He apologized to me. Don't make me repeat myself. I did not hear you clearly. There's one thing I know about you. It's that you're not deaf. Of course I'm not. Shh. Someone will hear you. I glare at Rod, but he does not respond. Princess, your hand is really warm. Yo, call him out. Yo, that must suck. Rod faces and plays and glares at Sebi, who seems to be struggling. Your thoughts are too loud, Rod. Through the dim lights, I can actually see a faint blush on Rod's cheeks. You are blushing. I'm not. He lets go of my hand and starts to walk toward the secret passage with me trailing behind him. We look around to make sure no one is in sight before we both slip inside. I follow closely behind Rod in silence. My eyes move upward to the little bunny plush hanging on his shoulder. Sebi, I've been wondering, have you ever talked with Rod's family as yourself? Rod suddenly stops and scowls over his shoulder at me. What? I'm asking Sebi, not you. No, I don't. Princess, Rod doesn't want me to talk with others since he thinks I might say something unnecessary. So much for that. You still speak even when it's unnecessary. In the dim lighting of the tunnel, I think I can see a faint pink in Rod's cheeks, but it is probably a trick of this strange lighting. Rod is right. Sebi has blurted out his thoughts more than a number of times. You're not doing a very good job. What do you mean by that? I mean, I'm guessing it's the bottom one. We'll see. Now that we've kind of figured out the whole thing. What do you mean by that? Well, there are thoughts that he prefers to keep to himself, like his thoughts on karma And his feminine voice, or his... I knew he had a feminine voice, but I still gave him a deeper voice, you know. Wait, what? Rod suddenly clamps Sebi's face, and I could actually see the poor blush, trembling to get away from his hold. You're crushing the poor toy. Rod glares at me before finally releasing Sebi. Rod can be so brutal at times. I remember the time he almost threw me out of the window for saying that one lady had a hideous dress. Rod glares at Sebi once again. He readies his fingers to pinch him again, but Sebi hurriedly apologizes before Rod can touch him. Okay, I'll stop talking now. Rod sighs and continues walking. We didn't get the crystal thing soon. Let's just get that back. Oh, Yup, well, I guess we made a mistake. Whatever, we're gonna... Whatever. I hate this. Rod, have you spoken with Emmeline since that early incident? No. Especially I want to ask him about his curse. I doubt that he'll divulge anything right now. I decided to keep my thoughts to myself as we head for the marching. When we arrive at the marching, Parfait and Delora are there to welcome us. The others, however, are nowhere in sight. Ah, it's been a while, Princess. Thank you for bringing her here safely, Prince Rod. Where is everyone? They're all resting in their rooms now. It wasn't necessary that they be here for what Delora and I wanted to discuss with you. I will be staying in the tavern then. Rod is about to head for the tavern when Delora stops him. You don't have to leave. What we're going to say involves you too, since you're staying at the palace as well. Rod looks at her curiously, but asks no questions. Parfait and Delora gesture us over to this settee, where we all take our seats. This is something Rod and I must know because we're in the palace. I have a bad feeling about this. Before we start, I would like to congratulate you on your first good deed, Princess. Delora told me all about it, and I can see the extra piece on your necklace as well. Parfait smiles at me, her eyes filled with pride. Her faith in me rekindles that dwindling confidence I had. If only I had seen how happy Delora was when she announced it to us. You have to go into specifics, Parfait. Oh, are you embarrassed, Delora? She smiles at Delora teasingly before turning back to me. Anyway, I know you can do it, Princess. Only 2 more to go, and you can break your curse. Yeah, keep up the good work, Princess. You too, Rod. So what is it you wanted to discuss with us? I conducted a little investigation while I was with Z in the palace, and I found out something important. Something important? I discovered that there's a witch in the palace. A witch? In the palace? I felt a tinge of magic while I was there. It was faint, definitely there. I don't remember feeling it before when I was there as your doll, Princess. It seems that the witch is using a glamour to hide himself or herself from us. Oh. Okay, so it must be the guard guy or the green hair guy. Not like the one that was our guard forever, but his dad. Because they even seem suspicious. I mean, they're like, he's like helping the guard dad, whatever. A glamour is a magic that only very experienced witches can cast, which means the witcher we are dealing with is no ordinary witch. They have the potential to be very powerful. But what would a witch be doing in the palace in the first place? This witch could be after the king, but what? Parfait and Delora glance at each other, looking conflicted. It is Parfait who faces me first. Her expression gave. I'm afraid there's some other possibilities we must make you aware of, Princess. And in order for us to explain it, we must give you the truth. What's happening? What's new chapter? Does that mean we're gonna miss that explanation? What does that mean? The truth? The only answer is silence. I shift my gaze to Rod, but he avoids my eyes. What is going on? Princess, it's very likely that this witch in the palace is looking for you. What? I cast a glamour on you a long time ago so that you would remain hidden from the magical eyes. I did it to protect you, but this witch in question could see through the spell I've cast on you. It is my belief that they are actively looking for you. I close my eyes and massage the temples of my head as I feel a headache coming on. Wait, you said before that the witches want to see their curses unbroken. But this sounds as if they have another motive altogether. What reasons could they have for trailing me? The Tenenbaum has been without a bear for a long time, ever since the end of the war. A new bear, however, will soon arise, and the crystal is ready to support them. Some of the witches, the wicked ones, want to make sure that the Tenenbaum continues to spread darkness even with this new bear in charge. Okay, but what does that have to do with me? Dolores crosses her arms, her expression grim. The title of the bear is passed down from one descendant to the next. Princess, the last Tenenbaum bear was the late queen of Angel, your mother. I feel my blood go cold. What? As you are the queen's daughter, you are the next heir. Oh, wait, are we a witch? Are we a witch? Come your 18th birthday, you will inherit the title of the Tenenbaum bear. Mother, a witch? That's why that woman said she was a witch earlier. Why would you spout such lies? I narrow my eyes at them, searching for some hints that they are lying to me. Dolores and Parfait never turn their sad eyes away from me. Rod glances at me briefly before turning away, looking uncomfortable. Hildur, your mother and I used to work together to maintain balance, but then the witch hunt drove her mad and turned her art to ice. But she never used any magic. I would have known if she was a witch. It's possible that you did in the past, but then it seems she erased all your memories of her true identity. Dolores was already able to ascertain that most of your memories of her had been snatched away. Hildur needed you to remain obedient so that when you finally did inherit her role as the bear, you would continue to do as she wanted. I feel as if they were spinning endlessly on an axis. The real reason I cursed you was to see if you are truly capable of goodness, princess. Hildur's influence clung to you even after her death, and we feared that you would continue her previous work. That Angel might once again fall to darkness if you were not able to help the dark emotion in your heart. So then you cursed me because you were terrified of what I would do if I became the bear as I was? And the answer is silence. Now I understand why people hated me. It's because I am my mother's daughter. I cannot help but reach out to touch the pendant on my necklace as a feeling of dread washed over me. We know that there is a goodness in you, princess. We only wanted you to realize it by breaking your curse. Parfait sighs, looking guilty. It was a selfish act on our part, I know. But we could not risk another great war. They believed that I would have plunged the world into war. I turned to Rod, who has yet to speak since the conversation started. Did you know about all of this? Everyone knows it. Everyone knows the story of the Tenenbaum witch and her daughter. Everyone except for me. I glanced down at my hand, suddenly feeling numb. I'm a witch, and I'll become the Tenenbaum's next bearer. Just the thought of it makes me sick. I think back to my childhood, and I can still recall the glares that everyone gave me when I was a child. They were scared of me because I was my mother's daughter. And what about the king? Did he never love me because I was the daughter of a witch? But if that is the case, if my mother was so wicked, then why did the king marry her in the first place? Hildur threatened to kill the woman that he loved if he did not marry her. She threatened to kill Ophelia. Ophelia? So the king has loved Ophelia from the very beginning? I clenched my hands into tight fists. I'm just thinking about how, like, he loved someone else, but then she, like, threatened. I mean, they had to have sex for my character to exist, so, you know, that's an interesting situation. After Mother died, he was able to reunite with his true love, and since then he has treated Emmeline and Rod better than he had ever treated me, even though I'm his daughter by blood. That scares me that those kids might be his kids by blood. I feel angry about this revelation, but instead I feel a dreary emptiness inside of me. A heavy feeling begins to settle in my chest, suffocating my heart. He never really loved me. Wait, that says a lot about Emmeline's character, because she still wanted to be friends with us, even though everyone else looked at us like we were awful since we were the daughter of her. Z. Rod's voice snaps me out of my thoughts, and that is when I realize a stray tear has made it down my cheek. I quickly wipe it away with the back of my hand, angry at myself for showing weakness in front of them. You must be happy to see me like this. What? Your mother was made queen, and you and your sister became royals overnight. It's like something out of a fairy tale, isn't it? You thought you had the perfect life until I came back into it. I never asked for this to happen. I just wanted to... Rod suddenly moves his hand to Sebi's mouth, muffling whatever other words the plush was about to say for him. What is it you want to say, Rod? It's nothing. I can assure you, however, that the power that comes with the crown has always been irrelevant to my family and I. So stop assuming that everyone around you is after your title or your riches. Did your time with my sister not teach you anything? That's an angry retort when I suddenly stopped, my heart sinking. I've already recognized that Emmeline is more complex than I thought she was, and she has also told me that she never wanted to be a princess. My mother wouldn't have married the king if my father was still here. Oh, that's an interesting situation. Okay. Dora looks between the two of us and sighs. And here I thought your relationship had improved. Now it seems like it's back to square one. I crossed my arms and turned away annoyed. Do you have anything else to add, Parfait? If not, I would like to return to the palace. Princess! Stay vigilant and be careful about who you trust. Trust? How do you know whom I trust? What makes you even think I trust you? The anger that I was expecting earlier suddenly rises to the surface. For I know Parfait and Delora would be feeding me lies, playing with me the way Delora did when she first cursed me. I don't expect you to believe what we've told you. Perhaps it was not yet the right time to reveal everything to you, but please, you need to be careful. I stand up and look at them, my arms now hanging limply at my sides. How am I meant to trust anyone when all of you have been lying to me this entire time? See, if you don't believe us, then try asking the king who Hildur truly is. I never even thought about asking the king about Mother. Rod, you should watch your back too. It's possible that this witch in question could be plotting something against the royal family as well. They have been in the palace for a long time after all. She looks at me, then at Rod, her expression somber. I won't be able to stay with you anymore. I had to pick up and leave a few days ago because I was certain he caught a trace of my magic. He probably already has. I understand. Anyway, Z is right to return to the palace now. Someone may notice your absence if you're gone much longer. You two should leave now. Let us know if you notice anything unusual. I will. We'll see you again soon, Princess. Remember, stay vigilant.